South Carolina has won the toss and they have elected to receive. So East Carolina's Ben Ryan will be kicking it off to Bruce Ellington, number 23, at the top of your screen, and junior Kenny Miles, number 31. Everybody up for the kickoff. We've been waiting all spring and summer for this. Ben Ryan checks. Toe meets and run away. This is Ellington from the end zone. And an outstanding return to the 35-yard line.
It's a great way to start things out for South Carolina. As you see, Connor Shaw is going to be taking the field here, and Connor Shaw won the quarterback job over Stephen Garcia, and this was an outright competition. Steve Spurrier opened up this quarterback competition in the offseason because Connor Shaw was improving and getting better each practice, and he just flat out beat out Stephen Garcia. This is not a result of all of Stephen Garcia's suspensions. This is a result of Connor Shaw's good play.
Garcia is expected to play tonight. Coach Spurrier saying he'll get in the second quarter, but all eyes on this talented offensive unit of South Carolina. And as expected, Marcus Lattimore with the game's first carry. East Carolina's defense, which was ripped to shreds last year, has switched to a 3-4 alignment. Some of the key defenders we'll be keeping our eye on. Chris Baker, a junior college transfer, gets the start on an outside linebacker spot. Jeremy Grove starts his first game at the inside linebacker spot, and a lot of pressure in the secondary on Leonard Polk on that boundary corner. 8-yard gain sets up 2nd and 1. Shaw's first pass going deep. Barnes incomplete. Blacknall defending.
Well, you see why they like Connor Shaw. You see him early go out and show why they put him in the lineup. It looks like Blacknall got away with a little pass interference there, Bob. He got there a little bit early, but Connor Shaw putting on display early that strong, powerful arm to get the ball down the field to these great South Carolina wide receivers.
Coach Spurrier was telling us that in camp, when they tracked the scrimmages, Connor Shaw's passing statistics were just tremendous.
He really had a good spring and a good fall camp, Bob, and that's exactly why you see him under center.
And East Carolina's D stacks up for no gain. Mr. Lattimore. And coming through was Daniel Drake, number 59, inside linebacker, making his first career start.
Well, this is exactly what you want to see if you're an East Carolina Pirate fan. This defense was shredded last year. They were ranked 117th nationally against the rush, and to stuff Marcus Lattimore on a 3rd and short like that is a great sign for this ECU defense.
South Carolina going forward on 4th and 1. They've got really just inches to gain.
Got to be patient here if you're East Carolina D-line. They may just be trying to draw you off sides.
Shaw has the first down at the 46.
Well, you see Connor Shaw, you know, the quarterback sneak, the key is once you get the snap, you take a step back as you saw him do there. Let your lineman engage the blocks. Don't just get the snap and rush up in there and get clogged up. He took a step, let it develop, found the hole and got the first down and keep the chains moving for the Gamecocks.
Shaw, sophomore from Flowery Branch, Georgia. Cranking, throwing, and incomplete. Intended for Jason Barnes.
Well, I think we'll see a lot of that out of Connor Shaw. He has great mobility, a lot more mobility than Stephen Garcia, so they will try to get him on the edge and take advantage of his athletic ability.
Moore and Sanders go wide to the top. Stephen Garcia, an interested spectator, watching his understudy, Shaw, get the start. One of 5 SEC quarterbacks tonight and today getting their first starts. Shaw with a great ability to run takes it down to the East Carolina 43 and a first down.
Just like I just mentioned, they like his ability to run with the football. You will see some designed runs for Connor Shaw. This is just a quarterback draw. You see Marcus Lattimore throwing a great block right there, and good tough running to finish that run off by Connor Shaw.
Ironically, coming out of Flowery Branch, East Carolina offered Connor Shaw a scholarship. He gets his first start against the Pirates. Jeffrey batted away at the last instant. Great defensive play by Blacknall. Boy, they are going after the field corner, and Blacknall has been there.
Wow, that's twice they've tried to get him with that deep post pattern right there. They had Alshon Jeffrey on him that time, and he made the play. Jeffrey actually had to step the ball just slightly underthrown, and Blacknall was able to get a hand on that. If Connor Shaw puts that thing out there about another yard, Bob, it's going to be a touchdown because Alshon Jeffrey can flat out go up and get the football.
Playing back in close to home from Greensboro is Derek Blacknall. Opening night here in Charlotte. Nice move to the outside as Lattimore stiff arms and gets down to the 34-yard line. Magazoo ran him out of bounds, close to a first down. We'll check the chains. Lattimore, the unanimous National Freshman of the Year last year.
Well, he had an unbelievable year, and he just really, you don't see a true freshman come into this conference, such a tough conference in the SEC, and have the type of impact that he was able to have. And he was the big reason that they were able to win their first SEC East title.
3rd and inches. Gamecocks started this drive at their own 35. Lattimore puts his head down for the first down at the 32. Coaches are telling us that Marcus has put on 15 pounds of muscle.
Wow,
in the offseason.
He looks great. He certainly has been in the weight room, you can tell, and he's doing that to carry an even bigger load. You know, everyone thinks of Steve Spurrier as the fun and gun type offense, but when you have 21 in the backfield, you want to get it to him as many times as you can, and he's bulked up this offseason to carry even more of the load than he did last year.
3 carries in this opening drive for Lattimore. He is a workhorse. Under pressure, Connor sacked back at the 37. 56 is Darrell Johnson, the defensive end. Made 11 starts last year as a true freshman.
Well, just great pressure here by this East Carolina defense. They got a blitz coming to Connor Shaw's backside, picked up well by Marcus Lattimore, but just nothing open down the field. Great coverage in the secondary. Connor Shaw couldn't find anywhere to get rid of that football, and Darrell Johnson got to him.
A loss of 6. Second and 16. Screen to the 30. Williams jumping on the back of Lattimore. He had 17 rushing touchdowns, did Marcus last year. Caught 2 passes for touchdown.
He can do it all. He can, as you saw in the last play, he can pick up the blitzing linebackers. He can catch the football out of the backfield, and obviously he can run it as well as any running back in the country. Do it all for the South Carolina Gamecock offense. Steve
Spurrier, his 7th opening night as the South Carolina head coach. 3rd and 9. Out of the gun. Shaw unloads over the middle. Jeffrey with the catch. First down, Gamecocks. When your junior year begins on the cover of Sports Illustrated.
Pretty good start. and that's the advantage right there of having a 6'4" wide receiver. You saw the ball was just a little bit high across the middle, but Alshon just using that big frame to go up and come down with a big first down conversion.
Gain of 11 from the East Carolina 19. Tipped and nearly intercepted by Justin Dixon. This is the way the Sports Illustrated cover looked when it hit the newsstands. And number 1, Alshon Jeffries, this talented junior from St. Matthews, South Carolina, And Calhoun County front and center.
No pressure there, right? You start the season off right there. Hey, all eyes are going to be on you, but this kid can certainly handle the hype, and he is as advertised.
Coming up, the 14th play of the drive, 2nd and 10.
See Spurrier calling in from the sideline. He's going to take advantage. He sees ECU up on the line.
And a timeout. Gamecocks have controlled it from the opening kickoff. 5 minutes into the first quarter. And the Gamecocks are threatening in the red zone. Avocado kickoff tonight from Charlotte, North Carolina. The South Carolina Gamecocks are driving. 2nd down and 10 at the ECU 19-yard line. Sophomore Connor Shaw getting the start ahead of the veteran Stephen Garcia and trying to stick his team in the end zone on the first drive of the new campaign. Loose ball, and East Carolina's got it. Baker with the fumble recovery. Connor Shaw took it down to the 10, coughed it up, and the Pirates have it. Marquis Powell for ECU busted that thing free. And then Chris Baker making his first appearance with a fumble recovery.
Well, Marquis Powell is one of these guys that's taking advantage of the system change to the 3-4. He is extremely athletic, plays very well in space, and he is a playmaker on that defense. And what a big stop by ECU. South Carolina driving, had some big third down conversions, and to put their offense out on the field is a great, great stop for that ECU defense.
And now South Carolina has to deal with the East Carolina offense. It is a spread attack. One setback, and that is a newcomer, Reggie Bullock, for quarterback Dominic Davis. And to the air he goes. Bodenheimer with the grab, and he's wrapped up immediately as he gets the ball out to the 19. Dominic Davis leads the ECU attack.
Well, Dominic Davis is everything you want in a quarterback. He's accurate. He's perfect for this system. He throws the ball as well as anyone in the country. Last year, he put up those type of numbers in his first year in the system. He's going to be even better this year.
Bullock, 2 tough yards. The Toyota key defenders for South Carolina. Devin Taylor on the end, and of course Shaq Wilson returning at his middle linebacker spot, missing time last year with a hamstring injury, only played 1 game. Stephon Gilmore, outstanding all-SEC defender on the corner. We should point out that Clowney is in the ball game for South Carolina, so they waste no time putting last year's National High School Player of the Year out there for the Gamecocks. Davis under pressure, throws, tipped and incomplete. Defending was C.C. Whitlock. He moves up to start tonight. Hakeem Auguste is out with an injury to his foot. So C.C., the senior, getting the start tonight for the Gamecocks at cornerback.
Well, great job of South Carolina's defense being ready for the sudden change. You had the turnover right there. You got to run out and face this ECU offense and to get them to go 3 and out. Great job by South Carolina.
Ben Ryan, the punter. Stephon Gilmore, the return man. Good pressure by the Gamecocks. This angles away from Gilmore. He's going to take it on the bounce. And stopped right there for no gain on the return. 42-yard punt by Ben Ryan. 8 minutes and 32 seconds remaining in our opening quarter from Charlotte. No score. Thank you, Andre. Welcome to you too, sir. Glad to have you with us, anchoring things in our studio. No score. Second chance for Connor Shaw, and South Carolina, they take over after the punt at their own 37. Before Shaw's fumble, ECU is driving. Shaw got it down to the 10. Marcus Lattimore to the 43. And Tim, South Carolina had the opening drive, 14 plays for 5 minutes and 7 seconds. A quick 3 and out for East Carolina.
Yeah, that's the thing. When you're East Carolina and you throw the football so much, you have to get completions, because if you go out there and throw 3 incompletions in a row, you're not going to take any time off the clock, and you're leaving this South Carolina offense out on the field for a long time.
Shaw hit and dropped at the line of scrimmage. Chris Baker with the tackle. Let's check tonight's keys to the game. They are brought to you by Ford.
Well, the keys to me for the game for East Carolina is going to be, can you contain Marcus Lattimore? You know, I mentioned earlier they were the 117th ranked rush defense in the year last year. Can they show improvement on that? And for South Carolina, it's going to be, they're not very deep in the secondary. Facing an ECU team that likes to throw the football 50, 60 times a game, how are they going to hold up against that relentless throwing attack from ECU?
3rd and 3 for Shaw. And movement. Our first flag of the evening. And everybody pointing at Kevius Watkins, the right tackle.
False start. Offense. Number 50. 5-yard penalty. 3rd down.
A.J. Can, number 50, says Ken Williamson, our referee. So instead of 3rd and 3, we go to 3rd and 8. A.J. Can making his first career start tonight. The redshirt freshman takes over at left guard for the Gamecocks. 3rd and 8. Shaw, heat coming, incomplete pass. Hawk coming up from the corner on the blitz, and Leonard laid the wood on Connor Shaw.
Well, this is one thing you have to see when you're a young quarterback, that boundary corner. He's got the short run on the quarterback. You have to know when he's coming, and the safeties are what's going to give that away. When you see that safety rolled over top the corner, you have to expect the cat or corner blitz and be ready to get that football out in a hurry.
Joey Scribner Howard won the punting job for South Carolina in camp. And it is going to be for East Carolina, Lance Lewis making the grab, but no return. Leonard Polk with the big hit for East Carolina. Timeout in Charlotte. CC College Football Saturday is brought to you by Ford, by Regions Bank, by Academy Sports and Outdoors, by Wendy's, and by Coors Light. Bob Rathman, Tim Couch, Christina Acra, and our entire crew for SEC College Football Saturday. Thrilled to have you with us wherever you may be watching tonight from the Queen City of Charlotte, North Carolina. Second possession for ECU and quarterback Dominique Davis. To the 26 before Ingram jumped on his back. Melvin Ingram, talented defensive end, all SEC player, can drop inside. He can also step back and play what they call a Panther position. Sort of a hybrid linebacker spot. Very talented young man. Pass is caught and a gain to the 27-yard line. Lance Lewis did some big shoes to fill, Tim, as Dwayne Harris has left the program. And Lance Lewis, they're counting on him for big things. Had a great year last year.
He really did. And, you know, 14 touchdowns and 89 grabs last year. He's certainly capable of stepping up and being the #1 receiver for this ECU offense.
Well, if East Carolina to have a chance, these are the kinds of 3rd downs they've got to convert.
No question. You got to stay on the field.
Davis throws incomplete off the hands of Bodenheimer. May have heard the footsteps, but it's going to be a second 3 and out for Davis and company.
Well, you don't see this ECU offense go 3 and out very often, but now that's 2 in a row. But that's a drop ball right there. Dominic Davis threw the ball right on the sideline. Very accurate throw, but Bodenheimer has to find a way to come down with that one. Can't worry about the footsteps. Can't worry about where you are on the boundary. Make the catch first.
Stephon Gilmore awaits Ben Ryan's second punt of the night. is actually going to be squibbed and it goes out of bounds. And South Carolina will have outstanding field position. They'll mark it at the 42. No score, 5:31 remaining in the first quarter. Connor Shaw with his first start against Ruffin McNeil's East Carolina Pirates. Third offensive possession for the Gamecocks here in the opening quarter, and so far Connor 2 for 7 for 18 yards. You must admit
There's a fumble in there, Bob.
Yeah, there is. Ken Williamson with a signal and a second turnover as Terry Williams, number 54, came up with that football at the bottom of the pile. Lattimore was the ball carrier. And East Carolina's got those pirate hooks out digging for that football.
Well, East Carolina has to be thrilled with the way their defense is playing. So maligned last year, and the way they just got absolutely crushed against the run and the pass. They've came out this year with a chip on their shoulder. They don't want to be the weak link to this football team. Now they give Dominique Davis this type of field position. ECU has to capitalize.
So Steve Spurrier has seen his Gamecocks turn it over twice in this first quarter. 2 lost fumbles, and that opens the door for Dominique Davis. And a whistle.
Timeout, East Carolina. The timeout request occurred before the 25-second clock expired.
Ruffin
This is a
McNeil
30-second timeout.
will gather his Pirates. A quick timeout, and we'll take it with them. 5:09 left in the first. Only 15 teams in America scored more points than did East Carolina under Ruffin McNeil last year. They averaged 36.8 points per game. And this is a golden opportunity for his offense right here.
It really is. Don't be surprised if Dominique Davis takes a shot down the field right now, trying to take advantage of that sudden change with the turnover.
Bullock on the handoff. A Pirate lost his helmet, and that was the ball carrier Bullock.
Yeah, Bullock's a guy that they're really high on coming in from junior college. They think he has great skill sets and complements this offense very well. Not a big guy whatsoever. They list him at 5'9", but he has a lot of shake to him. He can make some guys miss and catch the football real well out of the backfield as well.
Las Vegas native, was a JUCO star in Arizona. Bullock again to the 37. Reggie last year was the #1 rusher in junior college football. Davian Clowney's been in there for every defensive snap.
This is a guy they have a lot of confidence in. They think he's going to be an impact player for them, but you see right there, a little high with the tackle. Could have certainly been a penalty.
6'6", 254 is Clowney, and unbelievable speed. 3rd and 4. It is complete. First down of the night for East Carolina as Justin Hardy, number 2, made the grab.
Well, that's exactly what you're looking for if you're East Carolina. That will get Dominique Davis some confidence. Finally, a 3rd down conversion. Just finds his man spotted up in the zone coverage, sticks it on him. He's able to get up the field and keep those chains alive.
Under pressure, incomplete. That time, Devin Taylor, 98 for South Carolina, came crashing in on Davis. Devin Taylor, the All-SEC performer.
South Carolina can get after the quarterback as well as anybody. 41 sacks last year, led the SEC. Now, these aren't necessarily sacks, but the quarterback is going to remember those hits, and he's going to feel like in his head he has to get rid of the football quicker.
Feels like a sack, doesn't it?
It does feel like a sack, absolutely.
Play clock at 2. Complete to the 7. Stretching out, touchdown, East Carolina. Justin Hardy. Michael Barbour to add the extra points. And a heavy underdog, East Carolina, loving this role as giant killer.
Yeah, great job by the offensive line. It all starts with protection. Finally, ECU takes a shot down the field. Justin Hardy, the perfect inside receiver for this offense. Quick, smart, great after the catch. Good job of finding the seam in the South Carolina zone defense.
Stretching out to the end zone. Dominique Davis to Justin Hardy. And the Pirates draw first blood. Ruffin McNeil and ECU leading 7-0 over the 12th ranked South Carolina Gamecocks. 5 plays, 43 yards off the South Carolina turnover. The East Carolina Pirate fans are making all the noise in the stadium right now.
Well, the momentum is certainly with them, and a great job of taking advantage of an opportunity. That's their second fumble they've recovered. That one they get in their own territory. They're able to punch it in for a big touchdown.
Bruce Ellington. Another big return. Over midfield, down to the East Carolina 45, 44-yard line. Bruce Ellington, the point guard.
Yeah.
A flag on the play. And that flag was thrown back at the 20-yard line.
It's coming back.
Return, block in the back, receiving team number 24. Penalty is 10 yards. Follow foul, first
down. To the 10-yard line. So that magnificent return by Ellington negated. And now the Gamecocks have to go 90 yards.
Well, this is the first time that they've actually had bad field position. The first 3 drives, they were set up in great shape and still couldn't take advantage of it. So we'll see if ECU can keep this momentum going.
We have not seen Stephen Garcia. Shaw, hand off to Lattimore. And down to Christina Akra.
You guys talk about Dominique Davis being a leader. This is a kid who earned immediate respect from his teammates and has kept it since his first season. Lincoln Riley told me, Davis is not your normal college kid. He sees this as a business. He has this intense look in his eyes. When players see it, they know to get to work too. Riley said Davis will be all over a player for messing up before the coaches can even get to him. He's a natural leader, and that's definitely one that you need in this offense. Tim, I'm sure you could speak to that.
Absolutely. That's what you want to see out of your star quarterback.
Shaw throws it away. again, the pass rush outstanding for ECU.
Oh, it really is. Connor Shaw doesn't have a chance back there. He's got to be able to get rid of the football quicker, find your outlet receiver, find your side adjustments. ECU right now very good at disguising their blitzes, and they're getting to Connor Shaw.
Jeremy Grove, 53, a redshirt freshman in his first game, had a great spring, one of the 2 inside linebacking starting spots for the Pirates. And he is a take charge kid. This one blown dead.
Delay of game, offense, number 14. 5-yard penalty. Remains, third down.
Coming a little unraveled here for the Gamecocks.
Yeah, it really is. Unfortunately for Connor Shaw, this is what you do not want to happen when you first get to start. You get your opportunity to take over a football team like South Carolina. He's had a fumble. He's had a 3-and-out. Then he unfortunately had Marcus Lattimore put one on the ground. Now he's backed up in his own territory. Got to be careful down here. Don't give East Carolina a cheap interception.
Shaw is 2 of 8. Last 6 incomplete. Pressure to the 20, to the 17, and had to get to the 20 for the first down.
Yeah, not a bad play right there by Connor Shaw. Certainly he did not get the first down, but he gave his punter a little bit more room to work, and hopefully they can get this thing out of there and flip the field position for South Carolina.
Joey Scribner Howard. And for East Carolina, Lance Lewis standing on his own 45. Angles out of bounds. Great field position for the Pirates at their own 48. Time for tonight's Buick Video Vault. And we focus in on some East Carolina history. You'll remember Jeff Blake. He was the Pirates quarterback from 88 to 91. Outstanding. His son Emory now is a receiver down at Auburn. And another guy who is still slinging it in the NFL, David Garrard. What an arm.
Boy, they've had some great quarterbacks there at East Carolina. I was fortunate enough to play against both of those guys. Jeff Blake when he was with the Bengals, and actually played with David Garrard in Jacksonville for a season. And no one throws a prettier football than David Garrard. The ball comes out of his hand with a lot of power and velocity.
Davis throws underneath, turning the corner. Here's Hardy, and he's got an East Carolina first down.
It looks like they found a little something with Justin Hardy right there in the slot position. He's been able to make some big plays the last couple possessions for ECU.
Hardy is a former walk-on, a redshirt freshman, getting his opportunity after ECU lost Justin Jones to a left knee injury in camp. And he is making the most of it here in an electric first quarter. Dominique Davis, you can just sense the confidence growing. Down the sideline, and incomplete, intended for Lewis.
I like the call right there. Take a shot. You know, why not? It's second and short. You can come back, pick up your first down on third down. But, you know, the defense certainly not expecting that play. So good play call by Lincoln Riley.
Davis 5 of 9, 52 yards, and the 25-yard touchdown pass. The spot will give East Carolina the first down on the Bodenheimer catch. At the 40. 3-yard pickup. Antonio Allen defending, but ECU's got a first down.
Well, Bodenheimer is exactly what you want in your possession receiver. He's going to catch the football. He's not afraid of getting hit. He will make the tough catch for you.
Bullock fights for some tough yardage to the 1. East Carolina taking the fight right to the Gamecocks.
Yeah, you see the explosion we were talking about with Reggie Bullock. You give him a little bit of a crease. He's hard to find behind these big offensive linemen. Like I said, he's only 5'9", but boy, he gets to that hole in a hurry. And once he gets to the second level, he's tough to get down.
That was an 18-yard gain from Bullock. Half a minute to go, first quarter. First and 10 for the Pirates. Bullock spins away from a would-be tackler. Takes it to the 17.
Well, you saw some of the moves that we've been talking about with Reggie Bullock. That time, they just put him in motion, and it's basically a long handoff to him. It's a sweep play out there. Dominique Davis is just going to catch it and throw it out there and get him in space.
And that will be the final play of the opening quarter. The South Carolina Gamecocks came in ranked number 12, but it was East Carolina's period. The first 15 minutes in the books. And time for tonight's game summary, brought to you by Hyundai. Dominique Davis, 7 completions, 3 to Justin Hardy in the touchdown. 2 turnovers for the Gamecocks. Shaw lost 1 fumble, Lattimore the other. And East Carolina up 7 driving. They have it second down and 6. Danny Webster, a true freshman, no gain. 92 is Byron McKnight, 5th-year senior from Laurinburg, North Carolina. A lot of talented defensive linemen that Ellis Johnson will shuffle in and out of the lineup.
Absolutely. They have probably the best pass rush that we have in this conference in the SEC. They can just flat out get after the quarterback.
ECU 2 of 4 on third downs tonight. To the end zone. Caught! Touchdown! Lance Lewis. A jump ball against all SEC corner, Stephon Gilmore. 19-yard touchdown pass. What a touch by Davis.
Well, you got your best wide receiver going against South Carolina's best defensive back. But hey, if it's your best wide receiver on your team, you take your shot against anybody on the other team. And Lance Lewis goes up and gets the football. What a great throw and catch.
14-0 East Carolina.
Well, we talked to Lincoln Riley, and he said Lance Lewis is one of the best deep ball catchers that he's ever been around, and he's been around some good ones. And you see why. Just the body control, the way he makes a play on the ball. You see Stephon Gilmore can't find it, and Lance Lewis locates it early, and he's able to stop on a dime and go up and get the ball at its highest point. Lewis
6'3", Gilmore 6'1". And this senior from Concord, North Carolina, caps a 7-play, 52-yard East Carolina scoring drive. Lewis, 14 touchdown receptions a year ago. And Ruffin McNeil's Pirates are looking good, leading 2 touchdowns.
They really are, Bob. And Bob and I were down on the field before the game. We got a chance to see Lance Lewis up close and personal, and he certainly passes the look test, Bob. He looks like an NFL wide receiver already.
The deep men, 31, Kenny Miles, 23, Bruce Ellington. Ben Ryan sets it on the tee. Just the start of the second quarter. And East Carolina, who upset Virginia Tech in this stadium in 2008, 27-22, looking to pull the shocker against the Gamecocks. Ellington to the 33. And the East Carolina players are pointing. They think they've got the football. No indication from Kenny, it is East Carolina ball. Unbelievable. They did it again. Antonio Allison, 99 at the bottom of that pile. How about that? Ty Holmes, 49. Let's see what happened at the end of this play. It was Miles on the return.
Yeah, hard to tell from that angle if the ball was out. He had his back to us, a lot of bodies flying in there, but see if we can get another angle and see if we can see if that ball came out. But East Carolina was on the spot, playing inspired football right now.
The third fumble lost by Steve Spurrier's Gamecocks. Timeout. .1403, second quarter. And the old ball coach has seen his club cough it up 3 times.
Welcome back. The score right now of the game is bittersweet for the two people standing next to me. Meet the Pauks, mother and father of Rodney Pauk for the Gamecocks and Leonard Pauk for the ECU Pirates. Dad, I mean, how do you come into this game and even cheer?
I just wish my kids do the best they can to go out there and have fun. That's what it's all about, having fun.
All right, and Mama, you got to be nervous. You've got a boy on the field at all times.
That's right. I am nervous, but I'm going for the Gamecocks and the Pirates.
And now we have to show the jerseys. Come on, do a spin for me. These are the real deal jerseys, guys. They got one of each. Fantastic. Doesn't get better than this in the fashion world.
That's a tough dilemma for the parents right there now.
You're excited and depressed on every play.
Exactly.
The last play has been challenged by South Carolina. They're thinking along your lines, Tim, that
yeah, it looked
Kenny
like
Miles was down.
Yeah, I think so. I think maybe he had a knee down. The ball looked to me like it came out a little late, but you know, we'll see what happens. They take a look at this thing.
After further review, the ruling on the field stands as called. South Carolina is charged with a timeout and loses their challenge for the remainder of the ball game.
So it is a third fumble lost for South Carolina. This on special teams. And ECU takes over with unbelievable field position.
Well, I'll tell you, if they're able to capitalize off this turnover, Bob, and make this thing 21-0 in the second quarter, certainly the Gamecocks are going to be hanging their heads, and we'll see how they react.
There's Rodney Pauk, the South Carolina Pauk. His brother had a big hit in this first half.
Sure did.
Lewis wrapped up by Gilmore. A gain to the 26.
Great tackle right there by Stephon Gilmore, because Lewis, if he shakes that tackle right there, he's got an opportunity to sprint to the end zone. So nice tackle by Gilmore.
Bullock elusive.
Very much so. You know, it's just it's hard to find him. It really is. You know, and I know I've said that already, but he gets behind these offensive line and he finds creases. He's not a big guy. It doesn't take much. He can pop in one of those creases, and next thing you know, he's picked up 4 or 5 yards.
Kenny Williamson wants to look at this, see if it's a first down. The chain gang will be coming in. Reggie Bullock, highly recruited out of high school, and didn't have a great deal of adjustment time to learn this offense. But as he has proven, at 5'9", 176, it's the size of the fight in the dog.
Absolutely. And, you know, that's what we talked to Lincoln Riley. He said, we don't care about guys' height, weight, their speed. We think in this offense that we can have guys be successful that are a little less skilled because of the type of offense they run. They put guys in space and let them make plays.
Bullock, nice cutback. Taken down at the 20. It will be 2nd down and 8. Travian Robertson with the tackle. Senior. Robertson, just another great defensive tackle. Of the 14 defensive tackles drafted by NFL teams in the first round the last 5 years, 6 have come out of the SEC. Webster. A true freshman, hasn't played a game since his junior year in high school from Eastern North Carolina down at Havelock. He tried to transfer within his own county, was denied. And Webster, on the bright lights and the big stage of Bank America Stadium, says, I like it out here.
From a junior in high school to playing against the SEC East champs from a year ago. What a transition.
East Carolina's 3 of 5 on 3rd down. It's 3rd and 3 here. Hardy. 1st down and goal to go at the 8. This is this quick strike passing attack that Davis is so good at.
Yeah, it really is. The ball comes out of his hands really quick, and that's just a little swing play to the outside. That's basically considered a running play in this offense, and a great block out there by number 82, Joe Womack. You have to have a lot of confidence in your partner that he's going to pick up that corner, because if he doesn't, you're going to get blown up.
Davis is at his last 7 and overall 12 of 16. 2 touchdowns.
Comes the blitz.
And Davis has to eat it at the 11. Holding on to that ball for dear life.
Yeah, he really was.
There is Clowney.
Yeah, Clowney finally getting his opportunity to get after the quarterback. South Carolina had a blitz on right there. If Dominic Davis was able to see that a little bit earlier, he could have protected himself, maybe checked to something else, and maybe he had an opportunity to get another touchdown.
Clowney just blew up Jordan Davis, the left tackle, 78. Some kind of quick. Bullock looks for the hole, spins it down to the 7-yard line. A gain of 6. Clowney and Legree combine on the tackle. The camp reports on Clowney, they, as good an offensive line as South Carolina has, they couldn't block him in practice.
It's unbelievable that a kid coming out of high school can have this type of, possibly have this type of impact. The coaches just rave about him. Ellis Johnson said he's probably the best high school recruit that he's seen in his years of coaching since William the Refrigerator Perry. High compliment.
This one out of the end zone, incomplete. And Clowney with more pressure.
Yeah, Clowney, we're going to say his name a lot tonight. Getting after the quarterback. You can't try to block him with a running back, that's for sure. The tackle blocked down, and they leave him on a running back, and that's just a mismatch. Good job right there by Dominic Davis and not forcing the issue. Throw that thing away, get your field goal, go up 17-0.
All-Conference USA kicker Michael Barbour with the field goal attempt of 24 yards. Perfect. ECU adds to the lead. Number 12's in trouble in the first half in Charlotte. 17-zip. 17. Number 12, South Carolina, nothing. After the 24-yard field goal. And now Ben Ryan will kick it deep. 31 is Kenny Miles. 23 is Bruce Ellington. An end-over-end kick that is short. Fumbled. And it will be South Carolina ball. A penalty flag, I believe, came out. Yes. Maybe a late hit on the Pirates here.
After the play was over, personal foul, kicking team number 8. Penalty of 15 yards. Amend the run. First down.
just can't do that. You know, he's already fumbled the ball. He's on top of it. He has it secured. You can't go down there and hit him. That's unfortunate for the ECU defense because now they give South Carolina a much better field position.
And look who's coming in from the bullpen.
Here comes
Steven
Mr. Garcia. We'll see if he takes advantage of this opportunity to get his job back. Senior quarterback led the Gamecocks to the SEC East title last year and didn't get the start in the opening game of his senior year. We'll see how he reacts.
Play action, and he wants to crack it deep for Jeffrey and overthrows his man at the 15 into double coverage as well. The last 4 South Carolina drives, 7 plays, 9 yards with 2 punts and 2 fumbles lost. And Garcia is being asked to save the day.
Pretty tough situation to put him in 17-0 and ask him to go ahead and now bring us back. But hey, he's a senior. He's battle tested. If anyone can handle this type of situation, it's Steven Garcia.
Lattimore. First down, South Carolina at the ECU 38. 20-yard gain.
It's a good job by Steven Garcia finding Marcus Lattimore out in space. He's been bottled up in the run game by this ECU defense, so a nice play call to get him out in the open right there where he has a chance to use his speed and vision. Good job. He's great out of the backfield catching the football. You know, once he gets in the open field like this, he's probably the toughest kid in the country to get to the ground.
Second reception for 27 yards. ECU with pressure. Garcia must run. Put that head down. Like a fullback.
Look, a little Tim Tebow action right there. And Garcia's fired up. See, I love to see this out of Steven Garcia. Didn't get the start, but hey, he's coming into this football game and he's playing to get his job back. Two good throws, overthrew Alshon on the first play, but he found Lattimore on the next one in a nice run right there and finished it off with authority.
Garcia, the 3rd all-time passing yardage leader in South Carolina history. Not starting the first game of his final campaign, but in now with his team down 17-0 as Lattimore takes it to the 31.
Bob, you almost feel the confidence of this South Carolina offense now that Steven Garcia is in the game. Their leader is in. Their battle-tested senior quarterback is back in the game. They feel like they're going to move the football and score some points with him in there.
If you're a Gamecock fan, you don't know whether to be upset with your team down 17 or the fact that you haven't scored against the East Carolina defense. But the Pirates have dominated play in this first half. Garcia. Touchdown.
Well,
welcome back to the stage.
Welcome
Garcia.
back, Mr. Garcia. You know, the question I had about Steven Garcia coming into this game by not getting the start, is he going to be on the sideline hanging his head feeling sorry for himself, or is he going to come in and take over this football team and say, this is my team, I am the leader of this football team? And judging by that drive, he's certainly well on his way to getting his job back.
Jay Wooden's kick, a 32-yard touchdown run for Steven Garcia. Gamecocks on the board. Steven Garcia with a 32-yard touchdown run, the longest rush of his South Carolina career. 17-7 now. Jay Wooden getting ready to kick it away to the Pirates. Reggie Bullock back on his own 2. Finding a quick seam. It closed quickly, loose ball. Gamecocks think they have it. And the officials have to untangle the pile. A 28-yard return by Bullock. Carolina ball.
Well, this is a game of momentum. And you know, South Carolina had those 2 fumbles early. Now East Carolina gives the ball right back to South Carolina after Stephen Garcia's big touchdown run and sets him up in great field position.
So the offense comes right back out onto the field. South Carolina forcing the first East Carolina turnover tonight. From the ECU 41. Garcia long down the middle and overshoots Alshon Jeffrey. Blacknall again defending for the Pirates.
Well, you got to be impressed with Blacknall's coverage. That's the 3rd time they've tried that deep post pattern on him. He's been step for step with Alshon Jeffrey on that play every time.
Blacknall, a senior, made 11 tackles for East Carolina against Maryland in the Military Bowl last holiday season. He was 2nd on the ball club last year, Tim, with 49 solo tackles. Garcia, plenty of time. Jeffrey with the catch at the 20. Jeffrey being helped to his feet here.
Excellent job by Stephen Garcia. This is a long throw in college. The hash marks are wider than they are in the NFL. That ball takes a long time to get out there, and Blacknall had a good break on it. But luckily for Stephen Garcia, Alshon Jeffrey, 6'4", and uses that big frame to go up and get the football.
21-yard gain. And they're checking on the All-America. 1st and 10 from the 20. Lattimore to the 18. Jeremy Grove, the tackle.
Jeremy Grove having a nice football game so far. You know, they're glad to have him back in the lineup. They say he's got a great football IQ, sharp kid, great instinct, can find the football.
Out of Maryland, 6'1", 230. Now Garcia is the wideout as they go to their Wildcat set. Down to the 5, out of bounds at the 3-yard line. As Bruce Ellington gets a chance to carry the football, you'll see the direct snap to the wide receiver.
Yeah, Bruce Ellington did this a little bit in high school, played a little quarterback, and you can see he looks very comfortable back there in the shotgun, just picking his way through this East Carolina defense.
15-yard gain. His first football game since high school. The point guard of the Gamecock basketball team. Now Garcia out of the gun, hands off Lattimore, and he is in for the touchdown.
Well, Gamecock fans have to be thinking, if Stephen Garcia started this game, what would the score be like right now? He's only been in for 2 possessions, and he's put 14 points on the board and got South Carolina right back in this football game.
5:44 to go before halftime. Jay Wooden with the PAT. (17-14). So Garcia comes in, runs it in, and now lets Lattimore take it home.
Yeah, just excellent vision by Marcus Lattimore. He's an excellent 3rd down, short yardage, goal line type runner. He is great at falling forward. You never see this kid get driven backwards. He runs with great pad level and finishes runs very well.
For South Carolina, yardage before Garcia, 59. Yardage after Garcia, 100.
And 2 touchdowns, the most important stat.
The Gamecocks within 3, and they got the ball back quickly, of course, with that turnover on the kickoff return. So East Carolina will try to eat some yards and work some of that clock here and maybe get into the locker room with the lead. Speaking of halftime, our Toyota halftime report coming up. Andre Aldridge back in our studio. Scores and highlights, all the action around the SEC in a very busy Saturday. Momentum has no allegiance. It can change sidelines quickly.
Yeah, he put a couple balls on the ground, and that momentum will change on you in a heartbeat. This is a huge drive, needless to say, for Dominique Davis in this offense. They have got to slow down this momentum of South Carolina, and at least if you don't score, get a few first downs. Cannot afford a 3 and out right here.
Jay Wooten is the kickoff man. Reggie Bullock, who lost that fumble on the last kick return, is again the deep man at the 6. Another ranked team trailing tonight. That's Notre Dame. They're down 16-7. They've had a major weather delay in South Bend. Number 12 was trailing 17-0. Now 17-14. And Bullock watches this one sail into the end zone, and he will stop right there for the touchback. 1st and 10 for Dominique Davis rather, and the East Carolina Pirates, as the momentum of this game has shifted to the Garnet and the Gamecocks.
Yeah, it really has. They're going to have to find a way to get Lance Lewis involved back in this game. The last couple possessions hadn't found him, and also Justin Hardy. Find him on those crossing routes, get him in space, maybe down the middle on another seam pattern like they did on the touchdown earlier.
Justin Hardy plays that wide receiver, one of those inside receivers, and that's a big staple in this offense. Key
position in this offense, the wide position. That's the guy that they like. He's a very, very crafty, shifty wide receiver in that inside.
Davis gets rid of it. Incomplete. Boy, the heat was coming from the Gamecocks and Melvin Ingram.
Yeah, Melvin Ingram, another one of those South Carolina Gamecocks that can get after the quarterback. He had 9 sacks last year. They say he's like Clowney in practice. He's unblockable. And good job right there, Dominique Davis, of avoiding the sack and finding a way to get rid of that football.
To Bullock and a penalty flag. The gain to the 24.
Looks like that's in the area of holding.
Holding on the offense, number 63. The penalty is 10 yards from the previous spot. Repeat, 2nd down.
Doug Polachek, the center for Ruffin McNeil, is in his 6th year of eligibility. He's had all kinds of shoulder problems. A little inexperienced at that center spot. Polachek was a guard, and they've got a walk-on transfer, senior Hugh Parker, behind him against one of the SEC's best, and a new star being born tonight in Clowney.
Yeah, this offensive line lost 4 of its starters from last year, so breaking in a lot of new guys against the South Carolina pass rush.
Davis again. And a loss back to the 10-yard line, and guess who? Mr. Clowney.
Well, it didn't take long for him to make his impact on this football game, and he is getting after the quarterback. Dominique Davis, very elusive back there, but Jadeveon Clowney is just relentless in his pass rush. These guys are really starting to turn up the heat on Dominique Davis and his ECU offense.
Dominique Davis is 6'3", 210, and Clowney just seems to dwarf him.
He really does.
ECU 4 of 7 on 3rd down. 3rd and 17. Bullock bounced off Clowney, but then tackled at the 10. Another loss of 3. Devin Taylor finished him off.
Yeah, Jadeveon Clowney disrupting the play again, and this is what this guy does. He doesn't just rush the passer. He's a complete defensive end. He's hard to move out of there on the run game, and you see him getting back there and disrupting that. And his buddy Devin Taylor in there to finish it off.
Gilmore at the 43. Penalty flag. Ken Williamson checks in with his lieutenants. And the penalty against the Gamecocks. 47-yard punt, 17 return, but that will be wiped out a bit on the penalty.
Well, exactly what we talked about that did not need to happen for the ECU offense is exactly what did happen. They say they can't go out and get a 3 and out and give this momentum again that South Carolina has.
Return, block in the back. Receiving team number 25. Penalty is 10 yards. Spot of the foul. First down.
Yeah, you see Kadietrich Marcus right here just getting a block in the back. You know, the rule of thumb, if you can see his numbers on the back of his jersey, you can't hit him. You got to lay off of him right there. Just a mental mistake by Marcus.
The special teams and the defense getting a breather here. Clowney has been in on 6 of the last 7 tackles, solo or assist. My goodness.
Yeah, didn't call his name a lot in that first quarter, but it only took him 1 quarter to break himself into college football.
Can Stephen Garcia use the final 3:44 of the period to get the Gamecocks in front? They start 1st and 10 from their own 38. This one is incomplete. Late pressure on Garcia. 2nd and 10. Marquis Powell, number 10, the junior from Troy, North Carolina. He's another guy adjusting to this 3-4 alignment. They moved him outside to take advantage of his athleticism.
Yeah, and it's paying off for Marquis Powell. As you saw there, he can rush the quarterback. And, you know, like you mentioned, he was inside on the defense last year at the linebacker position, and much better now playing outside in space.
Garcia is now 2 of 4 passing for 41 yards. And the 32-yard rushing touchdown. Screen to Lattimore. Bounced off a tackle. To the 44. 6-yard pickup.
Well, that's what Marcus Lattimore gives you right there. You know, it's just a nice little screen pass set up well, but good job right there by the ECU linebacker, and that's Jeremy Grove getting in there to get the initial hit. But Marcus Lattimore doesn't go down off of one man. If you're going to bring him down, you can't just pop him. You got to wrap up.
Down the sideline. Way past the reaches of D.L. Moore. And it will be 4th down. D.L. Moore, the wide receiver junior out of Bowling Green, Kentucky. Made 12 starts for the Gamecocks a year ago.
Yeah, good job right there by Jacoby Jenkins. South Carolina had a double move on, had a little pump and go, but he played a discipline in his position and didn't bite on the fake.
Lance Lewis, number 1, deep for ECU at his own 20. Penalty flag. And another flag at the return. So a lot of longer to pick up for Kenny and company. Ruffin McNeil trying to get the word from up top. His coaches in the booth as to the guilty parties. That was a 48-yard punt by Joey Scribner Howard. One flag was dropped at the line of scrimmage. The other.
There are 2 fouls on the play. Illegal formation, the kicking team. Blocking the back, number 35, return team. Fouls will offset. Re-kick, 4th down.
All that to re-kick it.
(17-14) ECU. So Joey will punt it again for the Gamecocks here. We have 2 minutes and 41 seconds remaining before halftime. The senior from Irmo, South Carolina. And again, Lance Lewis waits at his own 20. Oh, this punt right up the elevator shaft. It's going to get a East Carolina bounce and is touched at the 42. How about that?
Wow. Those penalties really paid off for ECU right there, having to re-kick that thing. They gained at least over 30 yards, 35 yards in field position.
The first punt went for 48. That one went for 16.
Big difference.
So some of that newfound momentum for Coach Spurrier and company goes away, and East Carolina gets it at the 42-yard line. Dominique Davis and the Pirates with excellent field position and 2 minutes and 29 seconds to work with. Hardy throws incomplete. Penalty flag. Bodenheimer was the intended receiver.
Illegal forward pass. Offense number 2. 2 forward passes were thrown. The penalty is 5 yards and spot a foul and includes a loss of down. 2nd down.
If you're Justin Hardy right there, when this play is called, you have to make sure you're behind the quarterback when you catch the ball. If not, you can't do two passes like that. You have to make sure it's a lateral, or you're not going to be able to throw that football again down the field.
Davis threw from the 33. It was caught at the 32.
Right.
Second. A loss of down comes with that. Near side, Lewis. And 4 Garnet shirts around him.
South Carolina. Sorry, Bob. South Carolina defense really starting to swarm, getting a lot of hats to the football right now.
Good to see that young man back out in the field. Shaq Wilson.
It really is. Shaq Wilson, inspirational player for that South Carolina defense. Kind of the quarterback of the defense. Gets everyone in the right, going in the right direction. Gets all the checks and audibles called for that defense.
3rd and 20. 144 and counting. Bullock to the 38. DJ Swearinger, a junior from Greenwood, South Carolina, in there along with Shaq Wilson. 6-yard gain. It will be 4th down. And a timeout has been taken by the Gamecocks. Time for our Nissan Heisman update. And we talk about the Heisman winners of the SEC. Tim Tebow, the 2007 recipient. Mark Ingram in 2009 from Alabama. Cam Newton winning it last year from Auburn. And candidates from the SEC in 2011.
Yeah, certainly a lot of great candidates to choose from. Alshon Jeffrey, All-American, All-SEC wide receiver. Marcus Lattimore, I think, is going to have a great opportunity at the Heisman this year, as much as Steve Spurrier is going to give him the football. Also Trent Richardson, that run-based offense at Alabama, and Aaron Murray. You know, no A.J. Green, for him this year, but he has some talented weapons around him. Big year last year as a freshman, throwing for over 3,000 yards, so he's certainly on the radar as well.
Gilmore ready at the 25. And Ryan with his back to number 12. Gilmore drops it.
ECU's got the ball.
Pirates at the South Carolina 29 and a minute 15 to go. Flip Perryman come up with that loose ball, and another Gamecock turnover.
Another Gamecock turnover, and you can also feel the momentum coming back to this side and the ECU sidelines. These guys are fired up. Now they got an opportunity to extend their lead going into halftime. Very unfortunate for that South Carolina defense too, Bob. They've been playing so well. They've got a couple 3-and-outs in a row on this ECU explosive offense. Now their backs are against the wall.
Play blown dead, and a delay of game coming up on the Pirates as that play clock ran out on them. Just to think ahead a bit, Michael Barbour, the field goal kicker, his career long is 52.
Timeout. East Carolina.
Oh, they got the time.
Third and final timeout.
So ECU just beat the clock. And that will stop it here. 1:13 to play in what has been, Mr. Couch, a very exciting game because of the turnovers.
Yeah, it really has. You know, and for East Carolina to have an opportunity to play with the South Carolina Gamecocks, they were going to have to create some turnovers and give their offense a few more opportunities than they would normally have gotten in this game. And certainly they've done that. South Carolina shot themselves in the foot a couple times, and they've given ECU and their explosive passing game easy opportunities, setting them up in great field position, just like they have right now. See Stephon Gilmore putting one on the ground right there. Certainly don't see that from the veteran defensive back. He's been an outstanding playmaker for the Gamecocks in the secondary, and usually a pretty sure-handed returner.
Out of the timeout, Dominique Davis.
An eye out for Lance Lewis, matched up one-on-one with Stephon Gilmore here at the bottom of the screen.
Davis looks inside and has a man at the 21-yard line, and that is Justin Hardy. Both clubs have exhausted their times out. 1:03 left in the quarter. 9-yard pickup sets up 2nd and 1. To the outside, caught after being tipped. Hardy brought it down. First down, East Carolina. Stops the clock with 44 seconds. J.J. Marcus nearly had the interception.
Dominic Davis very lucky right there. Marcus could have easily picked that thing off and took it the distance the other way for South Carolina.
Davis zips this one past Hardy. Had no chance to catch that one.
Looked like a little confusion over here with the wide receivers and Lance Lewis, and they're kind of looking, when the receivers kind of look at each other after the play and the arms go up, Bob, they're like, why are you standing right beside me? If two guys are in the same Coke bottle, someone ran the wrong route.
Other than the turnovers, for an opening night, execution has been pretty good.
It really has.
These guys don't get exhibition games to tune up. Lewis to the 8, and Ruffin McNeil has a decision to make. He's out of timeouts. One more shot, and maybe they can get the field goal unit on. We'll see. It looks like they'll go for broke here with 13 seconds. Davis throws. It is complete.
Got to get in.
And it is a touchdown. Joe Womack made the grab and got it in.
Very dangerous play right there. Dominic Davis finding Joe Womack, but if he doesn't get in the end zone, Bob, the clock runs out. They get no points out of that possession. Great job by Joe Womack of fighting to stay alive and finding that end zone. You see here, Dominic Davis, in this situation, normally you want to make sure the throw is in the end zone, not short of it, because South Carolina can rally and make that tackle. But as we said, Joe Womack, just an outstanding effort to break a couple tackles and get that ball across the goal line.
East Carolina has cashed in. They have scored 17 points off 4 South Carolina turnovers.
They're capitalizing on opportunities, Bob. That's what it's all about. When they give you a gift, you need to take advantage of it.
Boy, Womack, what a comeback story. He caught 17 balls as a true freshman. He is now a senior. He's caught 17 passes the last 3 years. And gets one tonight.
None bigger than that one.
Well, it's watching that clock and I'm thinking, uh-oh.
Oh, yeah. It was, yeah, they got lucky he scored.
Ben Ryan's going to kick it off. Womack, a senior out of Jacksonville, North Carolina. Bruce Ellington to the left of your screen. Kenny Miles up top, the kick return men. 3 seconds left in the half. And a very long first half of play. But this is one that the experts are a bit confounded as East Carolina has gone back to a double-digit lead.
Well, we knew that East Carolina was going to be able to come in here and score points. They have a very prolific offense. What we didn't think was South Carolina was going to come in here and give them so many opportunities by putting the football on the ground.
Gamecocks will have 3 seconds to work with as Chaz Sutton caught the kickoff. So one more play for Coach Spurrier. Situations like that, you automatically think about Alshon Jeffrey. South Carolina has gone to the super prevent defense. They've got 3 guys back at the 25-yard.
Yeah, they do. We'll see how far Stephen Garcia can throw it.
And all he does is throw it to the umpire.
And he's going to have to throw it 5 more yards further than he was going to before the snap.
First down.
This will put the line of scrimmage at the 23. 4 wides. Jeffrey at the bottom of your screen. Now the throw back, and let's see who's going to heave it. Gilmore to Jeffrey. Jump ball, incomplete. Half is over. Ace Sanders, I should say, was the one throwing that ball. East Carolina heads off the field with a 10-point lead. The Pirates loving their role as the underdog. And the men from Greenville are thinking upset.
You called it, Bob, at the top of the show. East Carolina known for being a giant killer. They play everyone tough, and no different here tonight.
Down to the field, and Christina.
Hey, Coach, you've been able to capitalize on turnovers and maintain the lead going into the half. What have you seen from your offense that you've liked in this first half?
Well, you know, I think we're being patient. They have I've said in all my interviews, they have a great defense, so we have to be patient. One thing we talked about with a young group is playing the next play. We have some good things happen and play the next play. Some tough things happen, play the next play. So I like our calmness a little bit, and I'm just hoping we get better this half.
You seem to have the momentum going into the locker room. How are you going to keep it up?
Well, you know, just keep doing what we're doing. It's not about who we're playing. It's about what we do. And we've talked about it about 3 weeks ago. It's just worrying about ourselves. Let's worry about East Carolina and do what we do and keep playing hard. We've got 30 minutes left, and let's go do the best we can.
Thank you, Coach.
You're welcome.
Getting ready for the start of this third quarter. Stephen Garcia will be a spectator here for a moment. Keeps those legs warm as he gets on the bike, as South Carolina won the opening toss, elected to receive in a 14-yard play, 14-yard drive, I should say, to start the ball game. But then it was the first fumble lost for South Carolina, and that began the 17-0 run by the Pirates. So East Carolina will get the football to start this third quarter. Bullock from the 4. Out to the 30 and a solid return. Now Dominique Davis gathers the offensive unit for the East Carolina Pirates. A scintillating performance. Very accurate with the short stuff. Couple of solid long balls as well mixed into that 18 completion.
Yeah, absolutely. Dominique Davis picking up exactly where he left off last year in year 2 in this system for him. He had 37 touchdowns last year, already 3 in the first half.
Handoff to Michael Dobson. Gets his first carry of the night. Sophomore from Mount Airy, North Carolina. And a gain of just 2. Melvin Ingram made the tackle. Dobson in to give Bullock a blow after the kickoff return. Now Reggie back in as the lone setback with Davis. Quick to the outside, and Lewis. And a loose ball. Now they say incomplete pass. Shaq Wilson came out of there with the ball.
Have to take a look at this one, Bob. Lance Lewis, to me, looked like he caught the ball, had possession, and made a move up the field. That's a fumble. That's a fumble right there. He made a football move up the field, took 2 steps.
Every play in college football is reviewed, and that's what will happen here. Now the officials are saying on the sideline that it will be a fumble against Lewis and a recovery by South Carolina. That's the ruling on the field, it appears.
The previous play is under further review.
No, the only question here is, did Lance Lewis have possession, or was he bobbling this football? Now, to me, it looks like he's got it secured as he turns up the field. And then he gets the hit right there, and he just can't secure it as he goes to the ground. But to me, that's a fumble.
Ben Oldham is our replay official up here in the booth. And he's looking at these plays as we are. But what a huge swing this would be if it goes in South Carolina's favor.
Well, if South Carolina ends up with this football, I mean, this is a dream start for them. Down 24-14. If they can force a turnover.
After further review, the ruling on the field is confirmed. First down.
It is a fumble lost.
Yeah, South Carolina now. Stephen Garcia, great field position with an opportunity to get his team in the end zone and get them right back in this football game, and also take back over the momentum.
Stephen Garcia will lead the Gamecocks out. 1st and 10 at the ECU 34. Jeffrey out of bounds. It is going to be a catch at the 9.
Well, great throw and timing and anticipation. Again, Stephen Garcia from the far hash all the way to the sideline. Look at the body control from Alshon Jeffrey. Just looking like reminds me of Chris Carter from the Minnesota Vikings, the way he's able to extend his hands over the boundary, knowing exactly where his feet are, and don't even have to look down. He knows exactly just by doing it so many times, repetition. Great job by the All-American, Alshon Jeffrey.
First and goal at the 9. On of the Wildcat is Ellington. To the 4. Bruce Ellington, the redshirt freshman, started his South Carolina athletic career on the hardwood. Averaged 12.8 per game. Led the team in minutes, points, and assists as the starting point guard, but couldn't scratch that football itch until tonight.
I know that feeling. Absolutely.
Same set. This time it's a handoff to Lattimore from Ellington. Third down. Michael McHale Brooks, I should say, the nose guard, made the tackle for East Carolina. Third and goal at the 4. Now Garcia comes back in. Touchdown. Ace Sanders.
Well, we talked about how East Carolina took advantage of their opportunities with the gifts that South Carolina had given them with the fumbles in the first half. Well, to start the second half, East Carolina turns around and puts one on the ground for South Carolina. Stephen Garcia is able to capitalize on it and get his football team within 3 points.
Jay Wooten with the PAT. Stephen Garcia with the touchdown pass to Ace Sanders and a timeout in Charlotte.
They have the deepest group of wide receivers, the best group of wide receivers in the conference, and a great offensive mind in Bobby Petrino.
But in this high-stakes game of BCS college football, a team like South Carolina that has been dreaming those national championship dreams, they know they can't lose this game and stay in the race.
Right.
No matter if they run the table, it would be very difficult for them at this stage of the game. You can play yourself back into it, that's for sure, but you'd be on the outside looking in September.
You certainly would, and South Carolina has to find a way to win this football game, and I forgot to mention them, but they are certainly capable of making a national title run.
Bullock, after securing the football, gets over the 15 to the 17-yard line. And what we mean by running the table is to get to the SEC championship game.
Right.
Of course, if you win it, you got a great chance. But it's funny how it works these days, Tim, as we watch the Pirates come back out on the field. A loss in September seems to weigh more in the voters' minds than a loss late in the season.
Yeah, it really does. And, you know, it's just South Carolina. You know, they've had so much hype and so much surrounding them in the offseason about all the potential of where they could go this season. And they didn't get off to the start they wanted, but they're battled back, and they're within 3 of this football game.
Bullock. And that time, Melvin Ingram jumped on his back right at the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, Melvin Ingram having a heck of a football game. He's been all over the place tonight, not only playing down on the line of scrimmage, he's playing inside at defensive tackle. He'll play outside at defensive end. They'll even move him back to middle linebacker in their Panther set, so very versatile guy.
Crossing route for Hardy. Stop at the 20, 3rd and long for the Pirates. Mario Jeffrey the tackle.
South Carolina is doing a good job right now of sitting in that 5 to 10 yard area that East Carolina likes to throw the football. A lot of quick game stuff. They're really sitting on these routes. East Carolina is going to have to take a couple shots down the field and loosen up this South Carolina defense.
Jeffrey had to go out of the contest limping. We showed you. 8. Another fumble recovered by the Gamecocks.
Well, it couldn't be a worse start for ECU. The center just never got the ball off the ground. Certainly no fault of Dominic Davis right there. But Doug Polachek just didn't get the football up off the ground. He rolled it back to Dominic Davis, and Reginald Bowens was the man on the spot.
Reggie with the fumble recovery, and Polachek is kicking himself. 1st and 10. Actually 1st and goal to nose the ball over the 10. For Garcia and the Gamecocks as they look to take the lead. Steven will throw it. Incomplete. Alshon Jeffrey trying to find a way. 2nd and goal. South Carolina has not led in this game. If you're just joining us tonight, East Carolina jumped off to a 17-0 lead. Steven Garcia reemerged in relief of Connor Shaw. Put 2 on the board. East Carolina scored just before halftime. Touchdown. Garcia's 2nd rushing touchdown of the night.
Well, Bob, I don't think there's any question who the starting quarterback is now at South Carolina. Steven Garcia, it just really came into this football game and said, look, I know what happened in the offseason. I didn't play as well as I should. I may not have been as focused as I should, but to me, he looks like a senior quarterback who is focused on this football team. He's put the suspensions behind him, and he's ready for an outstanding year in his final year.
Thank you, Andre. 28-24 South Carolina. And here is the difference tonight. The yardage before Garcia entered the game.
Right.
And the yardage and touchdowns since.
Right there, Bob. 4 touchdowns. That's the only thing that matters. Since he's entered the game, down 17-0 when Garcia took over this offense. He's put up 4 touchdowns since he's been in.
Reggie Bullock will think better of it.
Good decision, Reggie.
Take a knee. Well, the story has been turnovers, but now they're favoring the Gamecocks.
Yeah, first half it was just ECU getting all the breaks. Now South Carolina's getting all the breaks, and they're doing exactly what ECU did. They're taking advantage of them, punching it in the end zone both times that ECU's turned the football over in their own territory. Steven Garcia, 2 touchdown runs tonight. Bob, I don't think he's been touched on either of the 2 runs.
Correct. We generally reserve our points off turnovers stat for basketball season, but it certainly applies tonight. South Carolina has scored 21 points off 3 East Carolina fumbles. East Carolina has scored 17 off 4 South Carolina turnovers. As Bullock, or rather Dobson, takes the ball, and South Carolina comes out of there with it. And it is a touchdown. That is Allen. Antonio Allen came up with another East Carolina fumble. A 25-yard return. Holy smokes.
Unbelievable. 3 possessions, 3 fumbles, 3 touchdowns for South Carolina. Just an unbelievably horrific start to the second half for East Carolina.
Jay Wooten adds the point after, and South Carolina down 10 at the half, now leads by 11. See what happened to Dobson. We were wondering here in the booth, had the play been called dead?
Yeah, it was.
When his momentum, his forward momentum and progress had been stopped.
Yeah, I think a lot of the players, you see them looking around, they almost thought it was a dead issue as well, because he was kind of held up in that pile for a while. Then all of a sudden, you see Antonio Allen coming out the back end with the football in his hand.
Antonio working on the potential cramping on the legs.
Yeah, just a lot of bodies in there, a lot of, trying to rip that football out, and someone couldn't really tell who actually knocked it out, but Antonio Allen ends up with the lucky break and finds his way to the end zone.
Well, what a disaster it has been for the Pirates here. The start of this third quarter, they got the football to start the second half.
Right.
With a 10-point lead.
10-point lead, all the momentum. They had a big touchdown going into the locker room at halftime. And like you said, Bob, getting the football to come out here with an opportunity to extend the lead. And instead, they're down 24-35.
Reggie Bullock awaits the Jay Wooten kickoff. They'll bring it out to the 20. Wooten with a booming kickoff. Now the pressure shifts to the shoulders of Dominique Davis.
Yeah, Dominique is going to have to get something started. He was so good in that in the first half. I'm sorry, the first couple possessions when they got the ball, they went 3 and out, and then all of a sudden Dominique Davis found his rhythm and his groove. He's going to have to start to do that. Right now, East Carolina is not stretching the football field. They're throwing it horizontal, and South Carolina is sitting on it. They have to get guys like Justin Hardy and Lance Lewis down the seams of this South Carolina defense.
Complete to the 24-yard line. New receiver in the ball game for the Pirates. There's been a jersey change. It may have been Torrance Hunt, who was originally listed as number 34. This is the freshman Danny Webster taking it out over the 30 for a first down. So East Carolina trying to regain its balance. I want you to amplify a point, an excellent one that you made earlier, about the vertical passing game and how best Dominique can attempt to loosen up the South Carolina coverage.
Right. Well, the only problem with doing it right now is South Carolina is getting so much pressure on him. He really can't hold the football. So screens, draws, things like that will slow down this pass rush. And then once you get ahead of the chains, you can start taking your play action shots down the field.
Incomplete through the hands of Justin Hardy.
Now this offense, Bob, it's a ball-controlled offense. They're not trying to get the ball down the field. Now, if you're going to do that, you're throwing 5-yard, 6-yard routes. It's about yards after the catch. Your receivers are going to have to break some tackles to keep chains moving. And right now, South Carolina, the way they're sitting on these routes and making sure tackles after the catch.
Harrington, 12 to the bottom of your screen with Bodenheimer. Bullock, wow, he found a hole and almost picked up the first down. We'll check the spot. Allen made the tackle, but a quick burst of speed with the junior college transfer.
Yeah, Reggie Bullock wastes no time. See the crease? That's all he needs. He has such great vision to get through these holes, and he gets it. When he sees it, he puts that foot in the ground and explodes through the hole. Great run by Reggie Bullock.
It is a first down. Screen through the hands of Webster. And stops it with 9:25 to go in the third quarter. Carolina. McKnight moving around, looking to come. They've got three, got him blocked well. The pass is caught out to the 37 by Hardy. Great grab against tough coverage.
Well, we talked about it, Bob. You asked me, what are they going to have to do to throw the football down the field? Pass protection. That time, Dominic Davis had all day to let Justin Hardy work his route down the field, and that's where these guys are going to find these openings in this South Carolina defense, is in those seams right up the hash.
A 20-yard pickup for the Pirates. Batted down. Clowney nearly had the interception. He is going to be a monster.
And the young freshman almost had his first interception and touchdown. Dominic Davis does an outstanding job of tapping that ball away from Jadeveon Clowney. If he gets that football in his hands, this kid can absolutely fly. There's no way anybody from ECU would have been able to catch him.
That mystery receiver we had for East Carolina is Derek Harris. Just want to set the record straight. Don McClellan just came in here to tell us about the number change. 35-24. Down the sideline against Gilmore, and bringing it down is Lance Lewis. Dual possession. First down, East Carolina. $29-yard gain.
Well, this is exactly like the first half touchdown pass that Lance Lewis caught on Stephon Gilmore. Dominic Davis just throwing it up for grabs because he knows that Lance Lewis can go up and get the football. He's just locating it, Bob, before Gilmore is. That's the only thing. He's getting a jump on it.
And you called it in pregame, Tim. You really liked what you saw.
I really did.
Lance Lewis. Davis. Can he turn the corner? Plants, pivots, touchdown, Pirates.
Well, we know he can throw the football. And now he showed us his athletic ability and his ability to make people miss out in space and get in for a much-needed touchdown.
Dominique saying, wait a minute, Garcia could do this. I can too. Touchdown run for Dominique. 35-31 Gamecocks. America Stadium, the home of the Carolina Panthers on Sundays, but a college town tonight. Dominic Davis touchdown, pulling East Carolina within 4 at 35-31. Time for tonight's Academy Sports and Outdoors Right Stuff leaders. It has been a terrific offensive show as it turned out. Right now we're getting ready for the kick return. Kenny Miles and Bruce Ellington back for the Gamecocks, and Ben Ryan ready to kick it away. It is going to be an end-over-ender that's going to be taken by one of the up men at the 30 to the 41-yard line, and that is Sean Carson with the return. For those leaders as advertised. Dominic Davis now 24 completions for 204 yards and 3 touchdowns and a rushing TD. Garcia with a touchdown pass and 2 rushing scores. And Allen, team leader, with 11 tackles for the Gamecocks. Now Stephen Garcia with his ball club leading by 4 takes over 1st and 10 at the Gamecock 41. Lattimore just can be, Tim, a battering ram. You look back over his incredible freshman year. Steve Spurrier called on him to rush the ball 40 times in Florida, 37 in the Georgia game. In this day and age of college football, that is unheard of.
Well, in every definition of the word workhorse, that's that man right there, number 21, Marcus Lattimore. He gets stronger as the game goes on. The more touches he gets, the better.
2nd and 6. With speed to Byrne. First down, South Carolina at the 41.
Yeah, South Carolina hasn't, their game plan was to come in here and really pound Marcus Lattimore, give him the football, but with the getting behind so early, he hasn't had an opportunity. They've had to play catch up and throw the football. Up to this point, he's only had 11 carries for 42 yards, but on this drive, already 2 carries, and he's already moving the chains for him.
59 yards on 13 carries. A third straight handoff. And another big gain.
Well, just like I mentioned, this is what they originally wanted to do. Now that they have the lead, they're up 35-31. Now they can start giving the football to Marcus Lattimore and begin to wear down the defensive front from ECU.
Since 1996, no true freshman rushed for more touchdowns in a season than Lattimore did last year. 17 rushing touchdowns. Getting the chains set across the way. Play clock begins. 7-minute mark, third period.
Watch for the play action. Now you're running the football well. Watch for the play action and up top to Alshon.
Lattimore scrambles inside the 30 to the 28. 4-yard pickup. Marcus Lattimore, just another one of these South Carolina high school stars that found their way to play for Coach Spurrier. Alshon Jeffrey, Stephon Gilmore started the trend 3 years ago.
Right.
Then Lattimore. And now, of course, the heralded freshman Clowney, who's had a magnificent impact on this game. Garcia has time. Jeffrey with a grab. First down, Gamecocks at the 17.
Well, this is how South Carolina wants to play. They want to run the football, and then when they wear you down, they give a little play action fake there to Marcus Lattimore. Now look how much space Alshon Jeffrey has. If that's a better throw, he's got an opportunity to turn around, make a safety miss, and get in the end zone. But you see these DBs from East Carolina are giving a lot of cushion to Alshon Jeffrey.
His 4th catch. That a gain of 12.
17 yards a catch also by making the big play.
Garcia inside the 10. Mark him down at the 8. Daniel Drake made the stop on the Gamecock quarterback.
I tell you, I'm really impressed with the mobility of Stephen Garcia. We know Connor Shaw has the good feet, the quick feet, but Stephen Garcia showing he can run the football as well.
Connor lifted for Garcia after the Gamecocks fell behind 17-zip.
Garcia checking off right here, sees the blitz. ECU up in the line of scrimmage.
Lattimore pulled down at the 6-yard line. .448 remaining in the third period. First and goal for Steve Spurrier and company. Lattimore. Is he in? No indication from the officials.
Like the knee was down just short.
Allison the tackle. That snap nearly at Ace Sanders on the way by.
South Carolina very fortunate here. Ace Sanders didn't get hit with that football, but Marcus Lattimore and Stephen Garcia, good job of keeping a heads up. That was a tough snap right there, but Marcus Lattimore obviously finishing that run.
Garcia tried to jump it in, denied. Damon Magazoo, number 11, credited with the primary tackle.
Yeah, great job by Damien Magazoo. That's a dangerous play by Steven Garcia. You reach that football out and try to extend over that goal line. You better be sure you make it, because if you don't, it's going to be very easy for one of those defenders to knock that football out of your hand.
They are that close. 3rd and goal. Gamecocks 4 of 8 on 3rd downs tonight.
Got to go to Lattimore.
And he's in for the score. I presume he gets tired, but you would never know it.
No, you wouldn't. He just, like I said, he just keeps getting stronger as the game goes on, and that is his specialty right there. Goal line and short yardage running. I'm telling you, the kid falls forward, runs with tremendous pad level. He's going to get you. If you need a yard, 2 yards, he's getting that every time he touches the football.
Jay Wooten's PAT is true, and back to an 11-point lead. This is the time of the game where all that hard work in the spring and the conditioning of the summer starts to pay off, and that's a big story at East Carolina this season as we get more from Christina.
Absolutely, Bob. For East Carolina, conditioning and the shape that they are in, what they've been doing all offseason, is one of their weapons. They consider new strength and conditioning coach Jeff Connors is back this season for a 2nd stint with ECU, and he's put a structured program in place to test these kids regularly, give them numbers to reach, and push their bodies to limits that they've never been pushed before. They're definitely going to need to tap into that conditioning as they go into the 4th quarter here to stay in this game.
Christina, it is when you talk to the head coaches, they say that one of their most important hires is their strength and conditioning coach.
Well, there's no question about it, especially, the SEC, any league you're in, you're going to have to be able to finish football games. East Carolina plays in the Conference USA. There's some high-scoring football games in that conference, and you're going to have to be able, as a defender, to be out on the field for a long time, and you better be in tip-top shape to be able to finish these games out in the 4th quarter.
Torrance Hunt is the new kick return man for East Carolina. Jay Wooten has turned into a very busy man.
Yes, he
since
has.
It was 17-0. 3:13 to play. 3rd quarter here in Charlotte, North Carolina. Number 12, South Carolina, crossing the border, coming into the Queen City. Trailed 17-0 to ECU. Big 3rd quarter rally. Hunt from the 2. Gets it out to the 26 as we take a look at tonight's Regions Bank SEC greats. And this is one of the greatest of all time at South Carolina. George Rogers, the 1980 Heisman Trophy winner.
You got to love the tearaway jersey. Remember those, Bob?
I sure do. And I remember when he ran the football in Columbia.
He was a special player. I tell you, he's the only guy from South Carolina to win a Heisman Trophy. But the guy they have back there now, Marcus Lattimore, certainly capable of adding another one of those trophies to the trophy case of South Carolina.
Swing it near side to Bullock. He's pushed out at the 30-yard line. When George Rogers was a freshman at South Carolina, he rushed for 623 yards. Mr. Lattimore had 1,200 as a freshman.
I'll tell you, that's good company. You're out rushing George Rogers, and you're doing something right. Marcus Lattimore certainly on pace to be one of the all-time greats in this conference.
Rally time once again for Dominique Davis.
Yeah, it really is. Important drive here for Dominique in this offense. Going to have to sustain some first downs and keep these chains moving.
Completed pass out to the 35-yard line as Joe Womack, who had that touchdown right before halftime, makes the grab. He's a senior out of Jacksonville, North Carolina, eastern part of the state. 42-31. Jeffries isn't, Lattimore isn't even breathing hard. So that strength and conditioning paying off.
There you go.
Bullock to the 39 on a first down.
Yeah, big conversion there by Reggie Bullock. Good job by the offensive line. 3rd and short, got to convert those.
South Carolina getting so much productivity from its starting defensive line. Some of the second team guys out there now. Sutton made that last tackle. McKnight, Girardeau also in.
South Carolina just trying to give Clowney and some of those guys, Melvin Ingram, Devin Taylor, just a breather because they know this game's going to come down to the wire in the 4th quarter. Just trying to give them a couple minutes to catch their breath. They've been on the field a long time tonight.
2nd down and 6 yards to go. Speaking of Jadeveon Clowney, he has been all advertised tonight. Catch made by Lewis, but wrapped up immediately by C.C. Whitlock. Gilmore's on the other side at the moment. And you're going to see this young man terrorizing SEC offenses. And their SEC opener is next week between the Hedges and Athens against the Georgia Bulldogs. Sideline jump off the fingertips of Gilmore.
Good job that time by Stephon Gilmore. That time he had his eyes back in the backfield. See how he located the football first? The receiver, Joe Womack, didn't see it first. Gilmore did. That's why he won that battle. He went up and tried to get the football at its highest point. Excellent job by Stephon Gilmore.
2nd and 10. And a minute to go in the 3rd period. Davis. At the 50. Taylor, Jeffrey in hot pursuit.
We talked about that defensive line from South Carolina being a little gassed. Well, both of these teams have been out on the field for a long time. Both offenses 14 possessions apiece already tonight, Bob, and we're just finishing up the 3rd quarter.
.73 points have been scored. Something tells me we're not done yet.
It's going to be an exciting finish to this one.
Great game on opening night. Davis. Incomplete. And Gilmore just jacking up the intended receiver.
Yeah, Stephon Gilmore, he's been beat a couple times by Lance Lewis over here on the other side. Well, now he's playing back over there on the other side of the defense and doing a great job. They've tried to test him twice over there, and both times he's made the play.
Ben Ryan comes back in to punt it away. Sanders will make the catch at the 20. We've got more SEC football for you next week. We will be in Gainesville, down to the Swamp, as the Florida Gators take on the UAB Blazers at 7 Eastern Time in Week 3 to Tuscaloosa, North Texas, in to battle the Alabama Crimson Tide. That a 7:30 Eastern Time kick, 6:30 local in Tuscaloosa. That's Saturday, September 17th.
Really looking forward to that game we get to do next week, Bob, down in Gainesville, to see how John Brantley will make the transition into Charlie Weiss's system. Obviously, last year he was in kind of a system with Urban Meyer that didn't really suit his skill sets. This one should be much better. John Brantley should have a much better season.
So far, so good tonight in Gainesville. Florida leads Florida Atlantic 31-3 with 30 seconds to go in the 3rd period. Lattimore just moved that entire pile out to the 26. And that will be the end of the third quarter. Our Sprint Unlimited update. The game that we love so much is back. SEC College Football Saturday. Stephen Garcia and the Gamecocks start the fourth quarter with the lead. And they stick it in the belly of Lattimore one more time. Well, he is just an amazing running back.
Yeah, he really is. It's just so hard to get to the ground right there. Marquis Powell blitzing off that slot receiver. Almost made the play in the backfield, but Marcus Lattimore just too tough to bring down with an arm tackle.
Something I did not know about Mr. Lattimore. He is quite the bowler.
He is quite the bowler.
230 average.
230 average. Yeah, I don't know what it is about running backs and bowlers. I know Jerome Bettis was a great bowler. There's all kinds of running backs that are great bowlers.
Yards per game and bowling average about the same.
About the same, yeah.
Tries to break a tackle, gets to the 44-yard line before Leonard brought him down. Lattimore now 21 carries and goes over the century mark at 104 yards. When he scored those 17 rushing touchdowns last year, he broke a 28-year-old South Carolina freshman record for rushing touchdowns. Penalty flags everywhere.
Seven. 5-yard penalty. It remains second down.
67 is Ronald Patrick. Backup center last year, sophomore from Cocoa, Florida. The big story, of course, was when Stephen Garcia came in for Coach Spurrier. And his numbers, 6 of 11 passing, 87 yards and a TD. 5 rushes, 2 for touchdowns, and 56 yards on the ground. This game changed when that young man came in the game. There have been a slew of turnovers, to be fair. Garcia throws, incomplete, nearly intercepted. 26, Derek Blacknall thought he had that baby lock, stock, and barrel.
And he sure should have, Bob. Derek Blacknall's had a great game here today, breaking up a lot of passes, but this one he should have came down with. He's right there to make the play. As the old saying goes, that's why they're DBs, Bob. They can't catch it, but good job right there being in position.
You always have to stick it to those DBs, don't you?
Always, yeah.
3rd and 13. Gamecocks 5 of 9 on 3rd downs. Caught at the 48, penalty flag down at the play. Jeffrey made the grab, and it looks like it would be marked shy of a first down, but the penalty to be decided. Holding on the Gamecocks.
Holding offense number 55. 10-yard penalty from the previous spot. Repeat, 3rd down.
That's the center, T.J. Johnson, negating what would have been a 3rd and short. Alshon Jeffrey did a nice job of pushing up on his route and almost getting the first down. But you see right here, just coming inside, he gets way up around the neck. Can't do that. Certainly holding on Marquis Powell right there.
Third and 23 now. Jeffrey can't get it. South Carolina lead is 11, and they'll kick it back to the Pirates here. with 12 minutes and 50 seconds to play. Scribner Howard will be the punter, and Lance Lewis stands at his own 30. This is the first punt of the second half of the Gamecocks. Lewis hauls it in at the 34. And that's where the Pirates will have it when we come back. A timeout in Charlotte. 12:42 to play. Pirates ball down 11. Fans of these schools have turned out in Charlotte this weekend, Tim, in big numbers to support their teams.
Yeah, they really have, and they've seen an outstanding open this college football season.
Bullock to the 35. He, in his own right, a workhorse for the Pirates.
Yeah, he is. You know, he's a tough kid. You know, they keep giving him the football, and he keeps making plays. You know, you think about his size. He's only 175 pounds up in there, but he can bounce off some tacklers. He's hard to get a solid hit on because he's so shifty.
Davis has time. Now runs for his life, and it's picked off. South Carolina with the interception, and Melvin Ingram has it. The 5th East Carolina turnover.
Well, Melvin Ingram, 275 pounds defensive end. As we mentioned earlier, he'll go down inside and play defensive tackle at times, and also he can drop in space. That's how good of an athlete, how versatile of an athlete that Melvin Ingram is right there. And how about the hands? A guy 275 pounds, that's a tough catch right there. Great job by Melvin Ingram. Heck of a play.
Davis had a ton of time early.
He did. It was all coverage, Bob. It was down the field. He was trying to work the football on the deep post to Lance Lewis. Then he came backside, and nothing was there. It was all coverage, and he should have threw the football away. I think he was trying to get it out of bounds. He just didn't get enough on the throw.
Now East Carolina will take a timeout. After the turnover, South Carolina has its 3rd possession this half in East Carolina territory. They took over 1st and 10 from the Pirate 31. Garcia to pass. Jeffrey. 1st and goal at the 8.
Well, that's what he does best. You know, he's such a deep threat. He runs up there on that deep comeback route, and eventually you're going to have to turn and run, and he just breaks that thing back off on the comeback route. You see Leonard Polk right there just giving him plenty of cushion, worried about Stephen Garcia throwing the jump ball up to Alshon Jeffrey.
A 23-yard gain. 1st and goal. South Carolina as Garcia. Penalty flags are down. Garcia throws it away. Kenny Williamson to announce the penalty. Cruz had a very good game tonight. New supervisor Steve Shelby very proud of this effort.
Offense, more than 4 players lined up in the backfield. That penalty's declined. 2nd down.
Second and goal from the 8. Down to the 1 and just shy of the goal line. Lattimore Just watch as he loses his helmet on the play. So you just got to watch him sneak through that hole.
Yeah, you mentioned it, Bob. He just gets stronger. Like you said, he wasn't even winded over there on the sideline. Christina told us earlier in the show how he gained 15 pounds of muscle in the offseason just for these type of things right here, just to be able to finish off games for South Carolina. 22 carries, 111 yards, and 2 touchdowns now on the game from Marcus Lattimore.
Making 3 touchdowns. With the extra point coming up.
Well, he had 17 rushing touchdowns as a freshman, about 3 already tonight in his sophomore campaign. He's right on pace to break that record of last year.
Jay Wooden tacks on the Gamecocks' 49th point. And an 18-point advantage. Sophomore sensation, Marcus Lattimore. Along with Tim Couch, Christina Acra, Bob Rathman back in Charlotte at Bank of America Stadium. Now 49-31 Gamecocks. 3 rushing touchdowns for Marcus Lattimore tonight. And the Gamecocks are in control. Trailing early, 17-0. The big story as Connor Shaw got the start ahead of the 5th-year senior Garcia. Stephen came in, and the Gamecocks have rallied big time. Webster on the return. All he sees are guarded shirts. And zigzags out to the 28 as we check the Z-Max performance recap. Garcia's come on to throw for 110, rush for 56, and 3 total touchdowns. You see Lattimore's number, and we update Antonio Allen, the Spur linebacker, 13 tackles and 2 forced fumbles.
Wow, what a great night from Antonio Allen. We knew the stars, Garcia, Lattimore, Jeffrey, those guys are going to put up the numbers. There it is, Antonio Allen coming up big for the South Carolina defense.
Now Dominique Davis tries over the middle, and it's nearly intercepted. Incomplete, intended for Hardy.
Well, you see here, it's just getting a hand on the football right there, and almost another interception for South Carolina, which would just put South Carolina in a great field position, just like they've had this whole second half.
Antonio Allen was the man who got the hand in there. Jimmy Legree nearly picked it off. 49-31 Gamecocks. Davis, incomplete, off the shoulder of Webster. Ruffin McNeil's club has turned it over 5 times tonight, the most since mid-November of '08 in a conference game against UAB. They had things going their way, and even though Garcia rallied the Gamecocks in the first half, Tim, they got the ball to start the 3rd quarter, and that's where it all started to unravel.
Oh, absolutely. You know, they got the touchdown going into halftime, and then they come out in the 3rd quarter, put the ball on the ground 3 straight times, and South Carolina scored 21 points off those turnovers.
Davis finds his way to the sideline. Clowney just kept moving everything toward the boundary. No gain. A national spotlight tonight for Clowney, and more next week when he makes his first trip to Athens. Ben Ryan into punt.
We know the ECU defense much maligned from their performance last year. Last year they gave up 49 points or more 6 different times, giving up 49 points here again tonight. But a lot of that had to do with their offense, putting them in really bad situations with turnovers.
Ace Sanders to the outside. Cuts it back. Cuts again. Touchdown. 68-yard punt return for the score.
Ace Sanders is one of those electrifying type guys with his hands on the football, and he shows you why right there. Not only can he do it as a wide receiver, but also as a punt returner.
55-31. Ace Sanders, the son of Tracy Sanders of Florida State.
Yeah, take a look. He got some great blocks right here by his teammates, but this is a lot of just pure effort by Ace Sanders and great vision. You see, he's just seeing the field, cutting, using his blocks, setting them up, and it's just all speed and vision for Ace Sanders.
Very nice. Now, when it was 17-0 East Carolina, did we think it would be 56-31 with still 9:46 to play?
I don't think anyone saw it actually working out like this. You know, it's been just a crazy change of events with all these turnovers and things like that. And, you know, South Carolina was giving all the turnovers in the first half. ECU was getting all the breaks, and it's just a tale of two halves for these football teams.
Ruffin McNeil and the Pirates send Torrance Hunt back deep at the goal line to receive the Jay Wooten kick. Ace Sanders still getting the congratulatory handshakes.
As well he should. That was a heck of a run back.
He was credited with 68 yards, but I guess he probably won about 168.
Yeah, he went sideline to sideline. Yeah.
Webster over the 25 to about the 27 as we go downstairs to Christina.
Guys, at the media golf outing in late July this past summer, Steve Spurrier guaranteed a special teams touchdown this season. It hasn't been done in several seasons. That was actually the first punt return since November 2003 versus the Florida Gators. He credits it to the new special teams coach, John Butler. He took the place of former special teams coach Shane Beamer, who went to Virginia Tech to coach with his dad.
John new on the scene after 4 years at Minnesota. Thank you, Christina. Here comes the handoff for the Pirates and out to the 29-yard line. Reggie Bullock started the game 5'9", 176. I'd like to take his measurements now.
I think he's dropped some little water weight there in fluids tonight. It's certainly been a hot night, and he's been an active player.
Doesn't get any easier for the Pirates. They go home to meet Virginia Tech next week. Hokies very impressive routing Appalachian State in Blacksburg. It's time now for the Coors Light Freeze Cam. I'll show you terrific stop action here. As Lewis goes up, got there first, and he and Gilmore come down a dual possession at the end. Judged, of course, in East Carolina's favor.
Right. This happened a couple times tonight, one of them being for a touchdown for Lance Lewis. But Lance Lewis just showing athleticism. He's a gifted wide receiver who can go out and get the football.
And a first down.
You know, Bob,
to the 39.
We talked to Ellis Johnson, and, you know, we asked him, do you think you'll be able to get a lot of pressure on Dominic Davis? And he said, well, you're not going to be able to sack this kid a lot because of the offense that they run. They throw the football so quickly. But what you have to do is disrupt the timing of his wide receivers. No sacks tonight on Dominic Davis, but certainly disrupting these wide receivers.
Webster over the 45 to the 46. 6-yard pickup. Number 12 South Carolina trailed 17-0 at the start of this game. But with the insertion of quarterback Stephen Garcia to his old job, the Gamecocks have rallied big and now lead by 25. As Bodenheimer came up with the catch and he was thrown out of bounds by Stephon Gilmore.
Stephon Gilmore's bounced back to have a pretty good game. You know, we showed he's been beat a couple times by Lance Lewis, but other than that, this kid is solid as a rock back there in that secondary. They're not a very deep, not a very good secondary to be matter of fact, but Stephon Gilmore is a bright spot. He's an absolute star in that secondary.
Bullock trying to get that first down. We'll see where they're marking. It looks like he's got the first down at the midfield stripe. I think he will sleep well on the bus ride back to Greenville.
No question about that.
1st and 10 for the Pirates. 7:17 remaining. Since it was 17-0, Carolina has outscored the Pirates 56-14. A slew of East Carolina turnovers paving the way for some relatively easy drives for the Gamecocks.
Yeah, certainly set up in some great field position.
And that one was right at Demario Jeffrey. He's smiling. He can't help but smile. Well, he had a pick six staring at him.
Yeah, he really did. Dominic Davis, very unlike him. He just doesn't see the underneath coverage. I'm not sure exactly how he didn't see Demario Jeffrey, the spur in this defense, but certainly threw it right to him, Bob.
The junior from Columbia. Played in 14 games. Last year made 3 starts. 2nd and 10. On the delay, here's Bullock. And that time, Jeffrey with the tackle. 3rd and long. From the South Carolina 47. Incomplete. It bounced off the padding of Hardy.
Bob, we talked about how South Carolina's been so fortunate in this second half to have great field position. They've scored 56 points tonight, Bob, but they only have 333 total yards of offense. Now, that tells you how short their drives have been. They have also had a punt return for a touchdown as well, but certainly been set up in great field position.
Pirates will go forward on 4th down and 7. Will they look Lance Lewis's way one more time? Nope, over the middle instead to Hardy. And he is upended, got the first down at the 39. But boy, that was a
WWE right there.
That was a painful first down right there. 8-yard gain. This is the 11th play of this Pirate drive. Quickly to the 33-yard line. And there is Mr. Lewis. This senior poised to have a big season in Conference USA.
Yeah, he really is. And, you know, if he can do this type of stuff that he's done tonight against South Carolina, one of the better teams in the SEC, then certainly he's going to have a big year in Conference USA.
An injured player for South Carolina is C.C. Whitlock. More action in the SEC coming up for you next Saturday night as we visit the Swamp. Will Muschamp and the Florida Gators play host to the UAB Blazers. Check your local listings for our coverage that comes your way at 7 Eastern Time from Gainesville next week. Cramping up is Whitlock. I'm somewhat surprised we haven't seen more of that tonight. Good job by the staffs of hydrating their athletes. Bullock to the 29. Down to 5 minutes and 20 seconds to play. Shaq Wilson coming up with the stop for South Carolina. Missed all but one game last year with that hamstring injury. 2 years ago led the South Carolina ball club in tackles. Davis throws complete. Lewis shy of the first down at the 24-yard line. 5-yard pickup.
I like the way Dominic Davis in this offense is continuing to battle. You know, this game is well in hand by South Carolina, but he's gaining valuable experience. Remember, he's only had 1 year in this offense. This is great experience for him to go out against a defense like South Carolina and get these repetitions against a very, very good defense.
13th play of the drive. Lewis a yard shy. It'll be 3rd and 1. Lincoln Riley, the offensive coordinator, grew up in the Mike Leach system at Texas Tech, and quarterback's coach as well. His 2nd season. I think he has to be very pleased with what his ball club has accomplished tonight against what many feel will be an exceptional defensive squad in the SEC.
Yeah, absolutely. Lincoln Riley, very bright offensive mind. And like you said, Bob, learned from Mike Leach in his days at Texas Tech, and that's the type of offense they're running here, and that's why you see him so successful and putting so many points on the board. But very bright future for Lincoln Riley.
He looks like he's still a student.
Well, he pretty much is. He's only, I think he turns 28. Is that right, here in a couple days? And youngest offensive coordinator in the FBS. But man, can he coach him up on offense?
Good hands by Davis. Webster incomplete. 3:32 to play. Pirates trying to get one more score. Noted, as you mentioned, Tim, for the scoring, and so effective inside the red zone last year. Scored 90% of the time. Second attempt. Davis got rid of it, tipped incomplete. Boy, it looked for all the world like Kelsey Quarles, the true freshman playing his first game, had him swallowed up.
Yeah, it really did. I'm not sure how Dominique Davis got rid of that football. He pumped it and must have some strong hands to hold on to that thing, and he was able to reload it and get it out of there and avoid the sack.
Boy, Mr. Quarles, as you look at this drive, those pads popping out all over the place.
Sure are.
Lewis upended as he gets inside the 5. A pickup of 8 yards. Marked at the 4, shy of the first down, so 4th down coming. Last chance for the Pirates. And they'll take a timeout. .247 to play.
Timeout.
A 30-second timeout for the men of Ruffin McNeil. 2 minutes and 47 seconds remaining. East Carolina out of the timeout, getting ready to snap it for the 18th time in this drive. A 4th down and 2. Lewis catches it for the touchdown. Nice way for Lewis and Davis to end their evening.
Yeah, it really is. They were in this football game for a long time, and unfortunate turnovers took them out of the football game. But those two guys have been a constant. Dominic Davis and Lance Lewis are stars for this East Carolina defense. They're both going to put together outstanding years, just like they did last year.
Kick hits the upright. No good. So it remains 56-37 as we go to Andre Aldridge in our studio for an update.
All right, thanks a lot, Andre, with your Cellular South game break, and we're going to take a look at Boise State and Georgia here, and yeah, Doug Martin taking it outside, 7-yard touchdown run. Boise State up 28-7. Big stuff there. Now we want to get you right back to Bob.
Senior Lance Lewis playing here in Bank of America Stadium, not too far from his Concord, North Carolina home. Has caught the ball 13 times, 107 yards, and 2 touchdowns this evening.
Big night for Lance Lewis. I said at the top of the show, I really like this kid. I think he's got potential to be a great one here at East Carolina. They lost Dwayne Harris, one of their big-time playmakers, to the NFL last year, but Lance Lewis certainly looks poised to be the #1 target in this offense.
For the men of Ruffin McNeil, a date with the Hokies next Saturday, and South Carolina will now get set after this one. Their SEC opener a week from today in Athens, Georgia, against the Bulldogs, who are trailing a couple of scores at the Dome tonight against Boise State. LSU is winning by 10 over Oregon at last report. So 1 week folds into the next, and here we go with 2011 SEC College Football Saturday. Ben Ryan, the kickoff man for the Pirates. East Carolina was thinking upset. They looked up at that board in the first quarter. First half, I should say. It was 17-0 in favor of the Pirates. Ace Sanders on the return will go out of bounds at the 10. Well, you know what you're going to get from Garcia and Lattimore, etc. Everybody waited to see the debut of Jadeveon Clowney.
Well, he certainly did not disappoint anyone. He was making plays in the run game, getting after the quarterback in the passing game. This kid is as advertised. It's rare, Bob, when you see a kid come into the conference with so much hype and so much publicity that they actually live up to it and possibly exceed it. Well, he was able to do that in game 1 of his career. He's only going to get better, and he's going to be a fun one to watch in this conference.
What has turned this South Carolina program into one of national prominence have been players from this state.
Yeah, that's the key. You have to keep the great players at home, and they were able to do that. Stephon Gilmore started the trend as a Mr. Football in the state of South Carolina, and then all of a sudden they started getting these other guys, Marcus Lattimore. Then these guys start recruiting Jadeveon Clowney and Alshon Jeffrey, and it just goes on and on and on, and that's how you build your program. You keep your in-state talent, and they have a lot of it in South Carolina at home.
Connor Shaw will come back in at quarterback now for the Gamecocks. It was quite a night for Clowney. We showed you on the bench with those 6 tackles. His 83-year-old grandfather, John, able to make the trek up from Rock Hill to watch his grandson play tonight. 56-37 South Carolina with a $150. And the Gamecocks content to run the clock out now. Kenny Miles will come out after that carry. There's Mr. Clowney. Had a sprained left ankle in camp, a little bone spur that cost him some playing time at the end of training camp. But just to show you how the thought process has changed here for the Gamecocks and football players in the state, Clowney said that he grew up a Texas fan. But as the Gamecocks have had success these last couple of years, he decided he wanted to be a part of it.
Yeah, you know, that's what it's all about, is having success. Winning the SEC East last year definitely helped in that decision. And, you know, like I said earlier, those guys that are already here on that roster, he wants to come and play with Marcus Lattimore. He wants to play with Alshon Jeffrey. He wants to play with Stephon Gilmore. And that's what it's all about. And then the next guy that come along, he's going to want to play with Jadeveon Clowney. And that's how you build your program.
45 seconds left. And 4th down and 1. Shaw gets the first down. And that should just about do it. They'll be talking about Stephen Garcia and his relief efforts this evening.
Yeah, Stephen Garcia did an outstanding job coming into this football game in what was almost an impossible situation, down 17-0, and he put 56 points on the board in a hurry. But getting back to Connor Shaw, you know, he started this football game, did not have the success that obviously he wanted to, but this kid's a sophomore and he should not be down on himself. He's got a ton of talent. He's going to have a great career by the time he leaves South Carolina.
That will be the final snap of this one, as Steve Spurrier and the 12th ranked South Carolina Gamecocks get the win over Ruffin McNeil and the East Carolina Pirates. Ruffin's ball club up 17-0. But Spurrier's gang came back to win big, 56-37, our final score. We'll be back to wrap it up from Charlotte, North Carolina in just a moment.